Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook video updated on Friday the 23rd of March. Now, it's not a bad weekend in prospect for many places, with just a few snow or hail showers mostly in western Scotland. Things are fairly quiet through until the start of next week, and then things go downhill by about Tuesday as low pressure comes in from the Atlantic. Then a trend to becoming colder, with the snow coming down to lower levels, and really the theme of being in a wintry situation heading towards the Easter weekend. Now let's start with a look at temperatures, and through this weekend you've got freezing levels around 700 or 800 metres, lifting a little bit through the daytimes, temperatures on higher tops around -3 to -4 perhaps, just on the highest Scottish summits. I think that story will be pretty similar, with temperatures not changing a great deal through Sunday and into Monday, maybe a touch colder just across northern Scotland. So if we run the sequence on over a day or so, we'll just see a tongue of milder air coming in from the southwest into Tuesday as fronts come in. That may not make that much progress into Scotland. A lift in freezing level is believable, at least for a time, from southern Scotland southwards. But I think as we go through into midweek, as colder air gets drawn back down from the north, so freezing levels will drop, temperatures will fall. Detail is rather uncertain from day to day, but the general message, I think, as we run toward the Easter weekend is of low freezing levels, say 500-600 metres, perhaps below in some spots, and temperatures on the higher mountains -3 to -5, or perhaps even lower, focused on eastern Scotland. How far that very cold air gets into England and Wales is open to a bit of question towards Easter. The general idea, though, is that snow could fall and lie across many of the mountains of Britain. Let's have a look at the charts for the next few days. Then Saturday, first of all, and we've got the remnants of a front across England and Wales, producing some murky skies, low cloud and bits of drizzle for a time in the morning, but it should tend to fade. It may just leave a local shower somewhere across the Pennines into the afternoon, but they should be few and far between. Otherwise, snow and hail showers into western Scotland, one or two making their way inland across the Highlands, and a chilly west-southwesterly wind across the Highlands. Brightest skies overall focused on the south and east of Scotland and the Lake District and North Pennines. We've still got a westerly breeze around into Sunday, but mostly very light, particularly across England and Wales. A chilly feel, though, on the higher tops, especially in Scotland. One or two snow or hail flurries, maybe just around the west coast, but very few inland. It may well be essentially a dry day, so a bright picture with cloud breaks to the very highest summits in most areas. Slack pressure across the country into Monday means light winds overall, essentially a dry and a bright day. Local mist patches in some of the valleys and lower slopes may be first thing, but most mountains free of low cloud. We're just watching for fronts coming in from the Atlantic, moving in across Ireland. It looks as though it'll be Monday evening or night before that makes any inroads onto western coast of Britain. But then by Monday night, it does look as though things will have deteriorated, and we've got strengthening winds up to gale force with rain or snow across most of the mountains, particularly in Scotland, coming in. Treat this chart for Tuesday with some caution. Basically, low pressure is going to be somewhere on the scene. Exactly how far north or south it's centred then dictates the temperature of the air. If it's a bit further south, we could draw much colder air into the mix, and Tuesday could see snow fall extensively across the mountains, rain mostly on lower slopes. I think the focus of snow is on the Scottish Highlands. It could be that fronts push through across England and Wales, just leaving a scattering of showers coming in from the west, but expect it to be a blustery, unsettled day, and in some places quite a poor picture. Now, if we look at the big picture through midweek onwards, it's that general theme of low pressure being around, some uncertainty with the day-to-day detail in midweek, a generally chilly and unsettled theme. There may be variations from day to day, but as we run towards the Easter period, it looks as though low pressure is generally towards the south, high pressure is towards the north, the wind is coming round as something of an easterly. It gives that scope then for snowfalls to quite low levels, could even get down into the valleys and the glens in some places, although accumulations at low levels would be fairly temporary, but snowfalls across the mountains could be more persistent. And we're looking at temperatures well below the average for the end of March and early April, and that goes right through the Easter weekend most likely. So very cold conditions likely on the mountains, very much wintertime conditions still in place, so one to take into consideration if you are planning on heading out through the Easter period. It may be eventually that low pressure gets drawn away a little bit further southwards, high pressure trying to build more towards maybe the northwest or west of Britain, trying to have some influence, although struggling to get in and settle things down fully. Overall, it's probably western Scotland that fares the best, in shelter from east or northeasterly winds for least in the way of precipitation and greatest chance of cloud breaks to higher tops. So the general theme for that Easter period and beyond, that's the 7-day pressure anomalies, shows low pressure essentially in charge, rather unsettled conditions throughout. Higher pressure is away towards the south of Europe and also towards the west and northwest of us. Eventually we might start to see a build of pressure come in further into early April, but for the time being I think that idea of being cold and unsettled is where we're going. Day-to-day detail, of course, is very difficult at this range, so keep an eye on the latest forecasts updated every single day at the Mountain Weather website. We'll update the videos as well as we move towards the Easter period, so we'll keep you right up to date with all the very latest. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.